First question comes from Dina. Can you share more insight on juxtaposition? It's still confusing me a little bit. So I don't know if you have any more tips you can share on juxtaposition.
Yeah, I mean, for me, juxtaposition really is about setting two very different things side by side for the reader. And the basic form of juxtaposition was really just meant, I mean, it's a very old tool. I think in the big lecture, I use like an example from Odysseus. So like that's very old text that's being used there. And really it's a tool that's almost meant to make the reader a little uncomfortable. Like when life and death are placed side by side, we have to wrestle with that feeling of what it means to see them so close together. We can't just enjoy, as we do in that particular scene that I mentioned, the cup of wine that's being had. It's also that the guy gets shot with an arrow a second later. And those two things side by side produce this jolting uncomfortability, this almost wrestling thing where we have to figure out, well, what does life really mean if we can have this life and death side by side in the text? And so I think oftentimes it's all about putting two very dissimilar things side by side just to produce some feeling in your reader. So we have to sit back for a second and feel like, oh, I got to wrestle with what this means that these two things are right here on the page together.
It's sort of like to jolt the reader awake, maybe, if they've kind of dozed off a little bit.
Yeah, and the level up section goes into plot juxtaposition, and that is to jolt the reader too, where you're making the reader feel like the story or the chapter is going one way, and then you swing them hard into something else. Mm-hmm. And I think both of them are meant to serve that purpose of jolting the reader awake, keeping them on their toes, making them feel like the story could really go in any direction.
Do you think juxtaposition is similar to a twist? Or is a twist a kind of juxtaposition? What's the relationship there?
I think a twist can be a type of juxtaposition. Okay. I really think a lot of the old school juxtapositions were done in more like artsy, more literary writing, where they just want you to think about humanity and what life is and what it means to be a person and all the different complexities that are written into what our life really is like. And so I think more often it's more like thematic or imagery or things like that, versus, there are subtle versions like we mentioned in the level up lecture that are more like a plot twist. Yeah.
Great. That's awesome. If you enjoyed this video, we've got a lot more on writingmastery.com. Check the description for links to our blog, free writing tools, and more. Happy writing.